Arena Rule 4, Officials. This rule discusses all the officials involved in a USPA event. It delineates their duties and responsibilities. So think of it this way. All the officials in a USPA event work together as a team. Each one has their job to do or their jobs to do, and but they all work interdependently and together to manage the entire event. So we'll start with the host tournament committee. The host tournament committee must be a minimum of 3 people. It can be more than 3 people. It would be a good idea to pick an odd number of people. That way you can vote and never have a tie. The authority of the host tournament committee is during the entire event, okay? Especially in between games, before and after games. During the game, the umpire or umpires will have the authority during the game. The umpire may ask the host tournament committee or the representative of the host tournament committee a question or two during a game if he or she is available, but the umpire is the ultimate authority during the game. Host tournament committee is over the entire event and is the authority in between games. So they can do discipline, they can call fouls, so to speak, in between games. Those kind of things would be under the host tournament committee's purview. So the authority of the host tournament committee, the entire event, except during the game, it's the umpire. Okay, the host tournament committee can designate a representative to be a liaison between them and the players. Nothing wrong with that. It's just representative. Okay, so the host tournament committee has to make certain decisions before the event. Okay, surprise. Well, the rules committee this year did an excellent thing, and they delineated all of the decisions that the host tournament committee must make before the event. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch you over to the graphic. It's a list of decisions the host tournament committee must make before the event. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this and keep it in your phone or in your tablet so you can refer to it during the host tournament committee meeting that you're going to have before you have your tournament. And just go through them one by one, and I'll explain them when we overlay the graphic. So let's go to that right now. So use this list when you're having your host tournament committee meeting, because these are the things you're going to have to decide upon. Okay, so number 1, are there any variances? Okay, so this could be a rule variance that you applied to the USPA for and was granted, or one that you want to apply for, or this could be a facility variance. It refers you to Rule 1 where it says, listen, we want the facility to be this way. We want the arena to be this way. But your arena is not that way, and you can't change it, so you're going to have a variance on that. So what you'll do is you'll write down all your variances and get that information out to the teams and the players as soon as possible before they pay, before the event starts. That would be the smart thing to do. Okay, number 2, team eligibility. It is the duty of the host tournament committee to make sure all the players have paid their dues and have proper handicaps, and that the teams are made up of players that are legitimate, eligible, that sort of thing. Okay, if a player is not eligible, his team's not eligible. The team's handicap must fall within the upper and lower limits of the tournament handicap. Okay, that's up to the host tournament committee to enforce that rule. Number 3, how many umpires you're going to use, Rule 4. So you can use 1 or you can use 3, up to you. Number 4, length and number of periods. Refer to Rule 5, where you can actually change the length and number of periods. You can make a different election rather than the standard rules. There's another election available. Shorter periods, more of them. It's up to you. Okay, number 5. Now we have an alternate Rule 7 in the arena where you don't have to throw the ball in if the ball goes out. You can give possession to the team that did not touch it last, kind of like outdoors. So get familiar with Rule 7 and make your election. What do you want to do if the ball goes out? Okay, number 6. Are you going to have overtime in the event of a tie or a shootout? Check Rule 5 for those procedures. Number 7, are you going to have continuous play, or after every goal, are you going to have the umpire throw the ball in? That's Rule 6 and Rule 8. And you can do continuous play. I've done it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cool. So up to you. Number 8, yellow card and red card procedure, Rule 14. Basically, because the arena has walls, you need to decide if somebody gets a second yellow card or more. Are they going to be out for 2 minutes and then allowed back into the arena at the next break and play after 2 minutes, or are they out for the rest of the chukker? That's just a convenience decision, whether you want to open and close the doors for a player who got a yellow card or second yellow card or worse. Something needs to be decided before the event starts. Okay, number 9, high hook. High hooks are generally above the saddle in arena polo, but you now have an election. You can make them above the shoulder. So that's up to you, and you need to make that decision. Number 10, is your tournament going to be played on the handicap or on the open? Umpires. In the arena, you can have just one umpire, or you can have 2 umpires in the arena and 1 third man on the side. And it mentions in the rule that you can, one of those umpires that would be in the arena can also be on the side with the whistle. And that's a little awkward. So I have umpired a lot of arena. 1 umpire in the arena works great because there's less umpires to get in the way, and decisions are made very quickly, and ball placement is placed very quickly. With that being said, 1 umpire is not going to catch all the fouls. So a lot of tournaments like that because they want a free-flowing game. So if you want a free-flowing game with less calls, 1 umpire is a great idea. If you have a very small arena, 1 umpire is a great idea. But it's really up to the host tournament committee. I really don't have a preference. When I go to umpire arena, whatever they want to do, fine by us. Okay, anything that's not addressed in the rules, the umpire or umpires will use their best discretion and handle the situation using their knowledge and judgment and experience. Okay, but most things are covered in the rules. The umpire must be in proper uniform and wearing a helmet with a chin strap in place, just like the players. Umpire uniform, usually a black and white striped shirt. Some places are going to a fluorescent yellow or green shirt. Again, no preference. It's up to you all. USP umpires at this time are wearing black and white stripes. That might change. Who knows? Anyway, with that being said, a quick note on the interaction between the umpires and the third man. Should you elect to have 1 umpire, that umpire will make all the decisions himself or herself. Should you elect to have 2 in-arena umpires with a third man on the sidelines, then what happens is you need 2 out of 3 to have a foul. So for example, if both umpires agree, foul, or whatever they're talking about. If 1 umpire disagrees with the other umpire, the third man is the tiebreaker. So the third man could agree with one of the other umpires. So then whatever the third man says, combined with the agreement of one of the other umpires, is what happens. In the unlikely but possible event that each umpire disagrees with each other, so for example, the 2 umpires on the field disagree, they go to the third man, and the third man has a completely different view and does not agree with either umpire, okay, then it'll be a throw-in. If no one can agree. So you got to have 2 out of 3 agreement for something to happen, whatever that thing is. That's how it works. With 1 umpire, it just happens whatever that umpire has decided. Sometimes with 1 umpire, very rarely, but sometimes an umpire will make blow a premature whistle or something like that, and then having a few strides of the play develop, realize that he or she was incorrect. In which case, that umpire can just throw the ball in. And I always make a joke. Hey, I said I consulted with myself and I disagreed, so we're going to have a throw-in. Okay, little humor. Not that funny if there's money on the line, but nevertheless, that's the rule. So, funny or not, that's the best way to handle that situation. Umpires. Next is timekeepers. You need to have a timekeeper. Timekeepers, get a time clock. iPhone works great. Set your time. The host tournament committee is going to decide how long the chukkers are. They have a couple of elections to make, but let's assume it's standard, 7.5 minutes. Go to the clock app on your iPhone, set it for 7 minutes and 30 seconds on the timer one, not the stopwatch, but the timer one, and let it count backwards. When it gets all the way down to 30 seconds, you blow 1 horn. When it gets down to 0, you blow 2 horns. Easy peasy. Okay. and that's the duty of the timekeeper. You stop the clock when you hear the whistle. You start the clock when the ball is put into play, either by the umpire's hand or a player hitting or hitting at it. And that's all you got to do. That's your entire rules. We have a training video for timekeepers. It works just as well for arena as outdoor because it's the same concept. Okay, scorekeepers. Score is very important to players. Very important. So, pay attention. You should have some goal judges in your goals if you're lucky enough, or if you have the kind of arena that allows for that. That really is very helpful to the umpire because arena goals are sometimes hard to tell. So pay attention to your goal judges. When they wave that flag up, you count the goal, try to know who made the goal, and fill out the proper USPA score sheet. I'm going to switch you over to a graphic right now of where and how to download that score sheet. Follow the instructions on the back of the score sheet. I'm not going to go over it with you now because they change it from time to time, and I don't want to have to remake this again and again. So follow the instructions, super simple. Fill out the score sheet. Switching over the graphic right now. Okay, you're looking at my computer desktop. So you go to www.uspolo.org, and if you Google search it, a couple sites will come up. You don't want the clothing line, you want the association's website, so choose that one unless you want to buy some clothes. But you don't. You want a score sheet. So go into the association's website. And I always go to the bottom of websites. They usually have a navigation pane on there. It's a lot easier to get around and kind of ignore all the fluff. Go to Programs and click on that. Once you're in Programs, you'll see a red list of stuff and then a blue list of stuff. Go to the blue list, Forms and Documents. Go into Tournaments, open that tab up. You have a whole list of things, and one of those things is score sheets. If you click on it, it'll give you a download page. And this is what the download page looks like. From this page, you can print it, you can download it. It comes with its instructions, so follow those instructions. They're very simple, not even a full page long. And you can do whatever you want with it. So there's your score sheet. They also make one for round robins, and it says round robin on it. So use this. Okay, we're back, and we're talking about goal judges. We just mentioned them. If you have the luxury of an arena that allows for goal judges, use them. Goal judges, the ball has to break the plane of the goal. So it has to completely cross the goal line, which is the line in front of the goal box. If it's on the goal line, it is not yet a goal. If it crosses the goal line, it is a goal, even if it doesn't hit the back of the goal. Now, if you have an arena that has painted on goals or something like that, you're going to have house rules. Follow the variance procedure for that. Tell everybody what the house rules are, and your goal judges should know, and that's that. All of these game officials, what I'm talking about, scorekeepers, goal judges, timekeepers, their authority is all subordinate to the umpire. So think of the umpire as the captain of the game ship, and these are all first mates, so to speak, and the umpire will confer with them, talk with them, work with them. The umpire needs them desperately for their help, their opinion, and their, what they call in the rules, testimony. Sounds very legal to me, but testimony is just what they thought happened, or what is happening with the time or the goals. So the umpire will work with all those folks, okay? And your umpires need them. So put people in those positions who have good attitudes and aren't easily offended and aren't insecure. I'm speaking from experience. Give us some good people, please, and you'll have a very good game. Okay, so those are the officials of the game. Host tournament committee, in a grand sense, controls the whole thing. Umpires will control the entire team, which consists of timekeeper, scorekeeper, and goal judges. For during the game, a game is 15 minutes before it starts, 15 minutes after it ends. Okay, and that's the umpire and the sort of the umpire's team, which includes the other officials, will handle the games. Host tournament committee is going to handle everything else in between games, and sometimes if there's an issue during a game, if a host tournament representative is available, we may consult with them, but generally not. We'll make our decisions based upon the rules, and we'll handle our team from there, and that's it. That is Rule 4 officials.